It's a partridge in a pear tree. Literally. Hi there, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I've got this awesome set from Alan Hudson, which is called 12 Days, meaning 12 Days of Christmas. Yes, I'm making a Christmas card. Yay, I'm getting there. What's that, 2? 2020 isn't going to be a good year for Christmas cards, I don't think. Not yet anyway. Look at the size of this set. It's massive. It has all the 12 days of Christmas, but today I thought I would do a partridge in a pear tree and share some tips along the way using felt in your projects. Okay, so I've thought my die set for a little while and got the pieces that I needed out for my card, including the dove, which of course I didn't use because that's not the partridge. The partridge is that really cool little bird with the hook on the top of its head. I thought it was so cute. And I do store my dies on a little plate that I have some magnetic sheet in, and that way I do try and keep them all together while and I don't, but I have a good intentions to use that while I'm creating. And that way I won't lose the smaller dies. And initially I thought I might use this chartreuse kind of colour for my pear, but when I put the brown up against it, it just looked too sickly. So in the end I went with the darker green. And for the outside of my card piece, well, my false front, because I'm going to be doing some inlay die cutting here, I have some dark brown wood grain cardstock that I've die cut the pear from. I'm going to create a false back with some scrap cardstock here, just that's going to give me something to adhere my felt to. So I don't know if you've used felt much in your projects, but don't try and cut it in your paper cutter, paper trimmer. It won't work. Well, mine didn't anyway. I did try. So scissors, use scissors. So what I'm doing here is literally making a partridge in a pear in a tree. So I want to die cut the partridge and the pear at the same time, so that way I'm not running it through my die cutting machine too many times. So a trick here is to actually adhere the two dies together before you run it through your machine, because your low tack tape won't adhere to the felt very well. So by adhering the dies together with the tape, they're not going to move as you run it through the machine. I don't like to use my electronic die cutting machine, which is tip number 2, because I feel that it just puts too much pressure on the felt and it can actually push this shape, push it out of shape. And especially when you're doing inlay die cutting, you want it to remain the same shape as the one that you've cut with the paper that you're going to sit inside, because you need to be able to make it fit within the shape that you've cut. So if you have a manual die cutting machine, I would recommend using that as well. And here's my best tip: use liquid glue. I actually tried quite a few different glues, and you can do this with whatever glue you've got. Cut little bits of felt, add it to some cardstock, and use a different glue for each piece. Write down which glue you have used for each, and you're going to see whether it warps or soaks through the felt. If you've got a good quality felt, you will have less problems with this. And the felt that Alan Hudson has is awesome. It's just beautiful felt to use, and I didn't have a problem with this warping. Don't add too much glue because it will warp, and you don't need a lot of glue. You just need to make sure that it covers the area that you want it to adhere. So I actually did cut this panel down so that it was just slightly smaller than the front of my card. I'm doing a side fold portrait card today. I know, out on a limb here, changed it up, and pop that up with some fun foam using some Be Creative tape, and that just gave me time to think about what I wanted to do with the rest of the card. Seriously, I actually grabbed a heart, and it's from the Skelly add-on, which is part of the gingerbread plushie set, and these gingerbread men are really cute. You need to check them out, and you can make like a skeleton version and also a voodoo doll. I If you're into sewing and creating felt toys, I mean, you can have so much fun with these, and I plan on even making like a card using it, but you'll see that a bit later on in the year, so keep tuned. Now, seriously, there is really no back or front to these felt pieces, but I kept thinking that there was. It really doesn't make much difference at all, but sometimes you can see where they were die cut from, but not really. And I did add a really simple sentiment, which I stamped in some rocking red ink from the Love and Light set. So I got heaps more to share with this release over at my blog, and we are hopping along, so don't forget to head through the link below, click on the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video today, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you here again real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting.